On this next set, we're going to be doing more equations with fractions and mixed numbers. We're going to be looking at adding and subtracting. And so here we do need a common denominator because we're adding and subtracting. So we'll choose a strategy, regrouping or changing to improper. I always have taught regrouping, so we're going to be using the regrouping strategy, and then watch out for negative signs. So on this very first one, we've got 3 1/9 plus x equals 1 7/9. The inverse of add is subtract, and so I'm going to subtract 3 1/9 from both sides. And so 3 1/9 minus 3 1/9 is 0. Those cancel out, and I'm left with just x over here. So I've isolated my variable. Now I'm looking at 1 7/9 minus 3 1/9. I'm going to copy, change, and when I do that, I see that I have different signs. I'm adding with different signs. And when I have different signs, I subtract 3 1/9 minus 1 7/9, and I keep the sign of the higher number, which in this case will be negative, so I'm going to have to remember that negative at the end. Right now I cannot do 3 1/9 minus 1 7/9 because my fraction 1/9 can't do minus 7/9. So I'm going to have to do some borrowing here. I'm going to have to change 3 to 2 and take 1 into 10 because I'm going to add 9 ninths and get 10 ninths. So I've got x equals 2 10 ninths minus 1 7/9. Now I can do my subtraction. 2 minus 1 is 1. 10 minus 7 is 3 over 9. And my answer, again, remember, is negative because the bigger number is negative. And then the last step here is to simplify this fraction. I know that 3 can go into both 3 and 9, so I have to divide top and bottom by 3. And when I do that, I get x equals negative 1 1/3. On this last example here that we're going to do in this video, I've got x minus 15 over 21 equals 2 6/7. The inverse of subtraction is addition, so I'm going to add 15 21st to both sides. When I do that, negative 15 21st plus 15 21st is 0. Those cancel each other out, and I've isolated the variable x on this side. On this side, I have to create common denominators, so I know that 7 and 21 have a common multiple of 21. They both go into 21. So I'm going to change 7 to 21 by multiplying by 3, which means I have to multiply 6 by 3. So I get 2 18 over 21 plus 15 over 21. When I add my numerators, 18 plus 15, I'm getting 33 over 21, and then my whole number is just 2. So x equals 2 33 21st. However, this is an improper fraction, so we're going to have to say how many times can 21 go into 33, and that's 1. So I'm going to add 1 to 2, add 1 to my whole number, and that makes this 3. And then I have 12 left over. 21 goes into 33 once with 12 left over, so I've got x equals 3 and 12 over 21.